grab it and run. Because he knows he doesn't have a chance to touch it very often, so he's going for it. And you're like, bring that ball back. You know, it's no good. If you don't have enough of something to make for good, wonderful play experiences, don't use it at all. Causes fighting. All right, this is one that's hard to hear. Sometimes kids don't ask for our help, because we always say, don't fight, come to me, I'll help you. Sometimes they don't ask for help because we're really not that helpful. What happens is, here's an example. It's center time. Bossy girl, it's time to choose centers actually, and she's sitting crisscross applesauce, hands in her lap, hips and lips, you know, all the things that we like little kids to do, bubbling around. She's doing whatever you've asked her to do, she's doing it. So you'll pick her first. So you say, bossy girl, go choose a center. She goes to the cash register in dramatic play. She runs there as fast as she can. Everybody else chooses centers. You're 45 minutes into center time, and nobody else has been able to touch the cash register. And they really want to, because that's awesome, you know? And so finally, you know, a kid comes to you and says, I want to turn with the cash register. What we say, we'll go tell her you want to turn. He has, probably 15 times, but it's like negotiating with a terrorist. And she is not letting go of the cash register. She's not going to, and you're not helping. So what he learns is, I'm taking matters into my own hands. So he'll go and he'll push her off it, or he'll grab it. Bossy girl will cry, and we'll haul him off to timeout. It happens all the time. And while we're hauling him off, Bossy girl's going, I love you, teacher. Well, she's a good girl. She's such a good girl. Yeah. So sometimes we don't really know all the dynamics in the classroom. And it's our responsibility to know that so we understand that we can be helpful to kids. I saw a wonderful teacher use this technique, and I love it. Because half the time, too, we have to remember, everybody needs to be heard, but with little kids, you're not probably going to get to the bottom of it, of a story, because they don't tell the truth a lot, you know? They have their own perspective. And so instead, you know, let everybody say their piece, and then what she did, and I love this, is she would say, how did she phrase it? What would make you feel better? What would make you feel better? And then what would make you feel better? So how can we do that so everybody feels better? And the kids were actually really good at negotiating that. You know, once they put it into words, well, I feel better if I got a turn. Well, you know, and I would feel better if I didn't have to give it up. Well, then you talk and figure out a way, you know, to make somebody understand it really is not your turn anymore. And the kids do so well, they learn to problem solve. But again, it's not you're right, you're wrong, you're bad, you're good. It's how can we make people feel better? It's a really good technique. And this list continues because there are a lot of don't teach children what they already know. If by October, 85% of your class knew what a circle was, don't hold shapes up anymore to identify. I learned what a circle was when I was 3 and I never forgot. I still know. And nobody goes over it with me. Teach it to that 15% of your class that doesn't know it. You know, we have this behavior because we're constantly giving kids the same information. Where's that? Identify your name, point to the letter A, this is a square. It's boring. It's boring. Teach them what they don't know. It's exciting to learn what you don't know. It's not exciting to go over the same things over and over again. Most of the day should be child-directed. Kids need to have choice and responsibility in their own education. Things go better when they at least have a say in what's going on. There are some teacher-directed activities, and that's appropriate because they need to learn to follow teacher direction. But most of the day should be about a lot of choices. And you know, what would you like to do now? How can you make that better? Well, you worked on this yesterday. And planning instruction around what's good for individual children. This is one of my favorites. If you go there, they will come. A lot of times we have kids clumped together, like we talked about before, like in blocks and in dramatic play. That's where kids want to be. And we see that it's about to be a disaster. There are way too many kids in blocks. Well, you know, we see it happening. And so when we start pulling kids out, you know, you and you and you and you need to go find something else. And that always leads to trouble. But what we know is kids love their teacher. They love their teacher. So if the teacher says, I'm going to go over to science and look at a few things with magnifying glasses, 5 kids will follow you. As soon as they see you sit down, they're with you. Even if you say, I'm going to go read a story, I'm just going to sit over here and read a story, 3 kids will be on your lap. Whether you want them to or not. You know, they're all over you. So it's like, you know, if you want to control things in your classroom, you know, if you go there, they will come.